Okay, let's give this a try, shall we? Dear Las Vegas, in the last 100 plus days, your name, your city, and your home have been at the forefront of most conversations surrounding the A's. While this process has been informally discussed, dating back to 2021, I entirely understand how recent developments have immediately amplified the excitement, attachment, and investment some of you hold towards this opportunity. I mean, from a few hundred miles away, I can easily see extreme civic pride in Las Vegas right now, maybe greater than it's ever been before. You love the Golden Knights and their new Stanley Cup like a child. You'll accept the Raiders for bringing the NFL and a new stadium to town. And of course, the Aces have now officially made their mark with the first WNBA title. All that plus F1, the Sphere, the Loop, and countless new interesting projects always up and coming right around the corner. It all breeds tangible momentum for sure. And personally, I've enjoyed more than a handful of trips to Vegas, and outside a few of the, self-inflicted and well-deserved mornings after, I've literally got nothing bad to say about anything you've ever dreamed up or accomplished. Building the proclaimed entertainment capital of the world in one of the smaller U.S. metropolitan regions is nothing short of unbelievable. And in Vegas these days, it must feel like nothing is impossible or unreachable. Which is probably why I seem to get a lot of defensive commentary from Las Vegans right here on the YouTube channel. Anytime I question the plans, the details, and the process that we've seen unfolding with the A's since late April. And I'm only questioning what's most outstanding and obvious here. I mean, can MLB's lowest payroll team fulfill some projections and promises that have never been achieved by anyone else before? Things like building the first ever retractable roof ballpark on just 9 acres in the back parking lot of the Tropicana Hotel. Things like selling out every home game for nearly 30 years to adequately pay off Clark County bonds. Things like relying on 10% of all Vegas-bound daily tourists to help sell about 30% of the tickets for every home game. Things like going from dead last in the league to a near top 10 in annual players' salary overnight. And most importantly, to achieve all this while constructing a magical and captivating venue in the competitive Vegas entertainment landscape for only $1.5 billion. Look, I realize Las Vegas and Las Vegans always aim for yes, and you love a challenge. And for the most part, your track record here is pretty good at finding ways to win. I respect the approach to risk and rewards, but right now is the equivalent of asking a newly minted sprinter to run a marathon in sandals while carrying a 50-pound backpack. And I know your instinct says, sure, we can do it. And I know your creativity and ingenuity, they can get you a long way too. But maybe there's a reason nobody else in baseball has ever attempted all of these things before. And let me go back to that reference of a sprinter real quick, because that's what the journeys of your NHL and NFL teams have been so far. 6 seasons in hockey, and now 3 years of football. That's it. Not nearly enough to understand how the Vegas market will react and respond to the ups and downs of sports results and the economy. Like everybody else, struggling more times than you succeed, and the metaphorical marathon that is hosting multiple pro sports teams for a half century or beyond. Now, I saw the comment from Nevada Assembly Speaker Steve Yeager essentially saying that the A's will have to spend on their product because, quote, Vegas doesn't tolerate losing, end quote. In theory, that is a commendable mindset. But the reality of sports is that teams and fans don't get any say in their ultimate fate. And what happens when a future team in Major League Baseball's smallest market of Las Vegas, is on pace to lose 226 total games in 2 seasons alone. Do you think that Oakland fans are tolerating that right now? And how would Southern Nevada do if it was their turn? I'm absolutely not suggesting that Las Vegas won't ever be successful over the long term with all sports endeavors. I mean, the Raiders and Golden Knights, they've already found respective fan bases in the short term. And I do think an NBA team is right around the corner. But the undisputed point here is that we just don't know how the volume of baseball and a team like the A's at a stadium site like this will fare across many years in an untested market in the middle of a desert in the middle of summertime. A person like me from Northern California even suggesting the fact that we don't know how this will go seems to be taken a little bit personal by a lot of you in Nevada. But until this actually ever plays out in real time in real life, none of us have exact answers and definitely can't guarantee some of the eye-opening promises that have already been made. And separately, how exactly does a struggling A's season compete for ticket sales when, Adele and Seinfeld and Katy Perry and Bruno Mars are all performing literally right up the street at the same time on any given game night? Now, if I wanted to give Las Vegas the very best chance to succeed with Major League Baseball, it would go like this. Expansion franchise with all the homegrown clout that brings. At the site of the Rio Hotel, retractable roof structure surrounded by a small ballpark village sitting on about 20 acres of land. Plenty of parking nearby with a dedicated pedestrian bridge or people mover access to the Strip. Center every amenity towards the local fan, but also give tourists from the Strip easy enough access. In fact, right next to Caesar's Palace. Make it family-friendly like every other MLB stadium in the country. Enjoy the best of both worlds. Everything here so far has been Vegas-centric because, well, this is a letter to you. But I should also conclude with some words about Oakland. If you sense a little extra animosity from the 510 area code, well, it's real and it's well understood based on how things haven't gone for this A's fan base in a lot of different ways, but mainly this. What if the Golden Knights decided to be done at T-Mobile by the end of this decade because they think things could be better in Salt Lake City? And you know that slogan, Vegas born? I know it hits home for you. It has existed for nearly the exact same time as rooted in Oakland. And it tugs at the exact same heartstrings here in Northern California. Maybe someday, that hockey team will threaten for a better fate in Utah, which seems unfathomable right now, right? But so did seeing the A's actively seeking relocation after 55 years in Oakland. I guess you never know. And that's probably the best way to leave the Oakland stuff here too right now. Most from Nevada just probably don't know where this community has been and hasn't. I know it feels like Las Vegas is the main character of this A's movie right now, but let's just say the story has been going on well before the most recent plot twist across state lines. And it's kind of difficult to understand or even appreciate any conclusion when you never actually started watching from the opening scene. Personally, there's no direct hard feelings toward Las Vegas here. My persistence has nothing to do with you and everything to do with using this platform to better educate and inform the folks where I'm from. I would only ask that when you boast about this particular unconventional route of pursuing an MLB team, you also consider the generational trauma it would cost a place like Oakland. Current A's fans didn't want any of this. And in time, we might find out how you actually feel about it too. Thanks for watching. Signed, Yours truly.